Welcome, curious minds. Let's kick off this deep dive with something pretty startling. Did you know that the deadliest maritime disaster in history? It's probably one you've never actually heard of.
That's right. It claimed more lives than the Titanic and the Lusitania combined. And yet its story is, well, largely unspoken, a real ghost ship in our collective memory.
Yeah, imagine it. The harrowing final days of World War II. It's this desperate, brutal winter, a chaotic evacuation, and then this ship just sailing into infamy, packed with thousands of desperate people.
That's the backdrop, the really chilling, urgent setup for what we're exploring today.
And just so you know, you are experiencing a unique two-host AI conversation powered by Google's NotebookLM for deeper, more dynamic book summaries. Our mission for you today really is to give you a comprehensive, engaging, and hopefully thought-provoking look into Ruta Sepetys' incredible book, Salt to the Sea.
We want to reveal those deeply human stories behind, one of World War II's most overlooked tragedies.
And doing that, we hope it prompts you to think about resilience, identity, and the true, often invisible price of survival. Because this isn't just a powerful read, it's a phenomenon.
Definitely. Published back in 2016, it's historical fiction aimed at young adults, but honestly, it hits everyone. It shot straight to #1 on the New York Times bestseller list.
And won the 2017 Carnegie Medal, which is a huge deal.
It is. And the author, Ruta Sepetys, she has this really profound personal connection, doesn't she?
She does. She's the daughter of a Lithuanian refugee. And incredibly, her father's cousin actually survived the very disaster at the heart of this book.
The sinking of the Wilhelm Gustloff. Wow.
Exactly. And Sepetys made this very deliberate, I think, crucial choice to tell the story only from the refugee perspective.
Which is so important. It's not just about historical accuracy, is it? It's about humanizing something that can feel, abstract.
Or frightening, or foreign even. It really forces you, the reader, to confront the individual cost of war person by person.
And one thing Sepetys does brilliantly is just plunge you right into the raw, brutal reality of January 1945. She sets the scene in this unforgiving, frozen landscape, East Prussia, Eastern Europe.
Right. And it's not just scenery, is it?
Yeah.
The landscape itself, it feels like a character. Merciless.
Absolutely. It intensifies this desperate flight of thousands, literally thousands upon thousands, of German civilians and other refugees.
People fleeing occupied territories caught in this impossible squeeze.
Totally impossible. On one side, you've got Hitler's regime collapsing, retreating.
And on the other, Stalin's forces just brutally advancing.
They're trapped, literally caught between these two devastating, relentless forces.
And the descriptions of the physical environment, just devastating, almost hard to imagine.
It really is. We're talking harbors locked solid in ice, entire cities bombed into rubble you wouldn't even recognize.
Treacherous roads choked with snow, filled with this endless line of displaced people.
Carrying everything they own in tiny bundles, sometimes just memories.
All pushing westward, driven by this one, fragile hope, reach the Baltic Sea.
Any ship, any boat, even an overloaded German Navy transport. It represents a chance.
A fleeting chance at safety, a passage away from the nightmare.
And this really hammers home the idea that in a world like that, your identity itself becomes a threat.
Yeah.
The book shows this so vividly. Ethnic cleansing, genocide. These weren't abstract ideas. People had to hide who they were just to survive another day.
The whole fabric of society just gone. Basic rules, norms, even decency often out the window.
Survival often comes down to the kindness of strangers, which is unpredictable. Or sometimes their indifference, which could be just as dangerous.
It makes you think, doesn't it? What would it be like? A gamble just existing is an act of defiance.
That's why the book's structure, the narrative approach, is so effective, so essential.
Sepetys uses 4 central voices, right? A quartet of perspectives.
Exactly. It lets us experience this harrowing journey from multiple angles. Joanna, Florian, Amelia, and Alfred, each chapter alternates.
It avoids that single, maybe narrow viewpoint. You get this comprehensive, multifaceted tapestry of the refugee experience. It's masterful, really. So let's start with Amelia. We meet her. She's just 15, Polish, and pregnant.
Yeah, and she's consumed by this intense shame, hiding who she is after surviving a horrific assault by Russian soldiers.
But despite her age, the trauma, Sepetys portrays her with this incredible resilience, a quiet strength.
And a deeply caring nature, too. It shines through even when she's most vulnerable. Her story just grabs you immediately. So raw.
Then there's Florian, Prussian, a restoration artist.
His motivations are complex, deeply personal. He feels driven by this sense of fate, almost like he's on a mission.
And revenge, right, against the Nazis for his father's death.
Yes, but his biggest secret is physical. He carries this concealed, priceless piece of artwork.
Stolen from the Amber Room, that legendary treasure.
The very same, lost to history. For Florian, it's more than valuable. It's a symbol of his mission, a heavy burden he carries silently.
Okay, next up, Joanna. She's a Lithuanian nurse.
Repatriated to Germany in 41, and she's driven primarily by this overwhelming guilt.
Which we don't know the reason for initially, creates a bit of mystery around her.
Right, but even with her own heavy burdens, her compassion just shines. Her dedication to caring for the other refugees.
She's like a beacon of practical humanity in all that chaos.
She really is. And finally, Alfred. The contrast.
Oh, Alfred. He's a delusional Nazi sailor, isn't he? Aboard the Wilhelm Gustloff, the ship they're all trying to reach.
His world is totally internal. He's terrified of being seen as inferior, of rejection.
And the book portrays his fantasies, pompous, self-centered ideas about his own importance to the war effort.
It's chillingly absurd, especially next to the genuine suffering all around him. His perspective is crucial, though, an unsettling counterpoint.
So, stepping back, each one carries this immense burden, a secret, a mission, a trauma.
Reflecting countless untold stories from World War II, each one a universe of personal struggle.
And as their paths converge, something really human starts to happen.
These disparate, desperate individuals, they start to form a kind of makeshift family.
Relying on each other, not just physically, but for emotional support, too.
Florian first meets Amelia when he saves her from a Russian soldier. A brave act. That sparks their initial connection.
And then they meet Joanna's group.
Which is a pivotal moment, this diverse group. There's Ingrid, the blind girl. Her innocence makes her so vulnerable.
And Heinz, the elderly shoemaker, the shoe poet.
That's him. He can read people's lives from their shoes, supposedly. Adds a touch of folklore.
The Eva, the older German woman. Her comments can be a bit much sometimes.
Provide some uncomfortable comic relief, maybe. And Klaus, the young wandering boy they found alone.
And Sepetys uses these connections, these stories weaving together.
To show what it means to be human under that kind of extreme pressure.
Right.
Where trust is, well, it's rare, a precious commodity, painstakingly built.
That idea of trust being so rare, so precious under duress, it's incredibly powerful. Does Sepetys show moments where that trust gets tested, or maybe even broken?
Oh, absolutely. The book definitely shows those tests. I mean, just the act of sharing secrets.
Like Florian revealing his mission.
Or Amelia admitting her pregnancy. That takes immense vulnerability, a real leap of faith.
And the constant threat of discovery, right? Or betrayal. Especially once Alfred is more involved.
Exactly. The strength of their bonds comes because they choose to trust despite that fear. It shows how shared hardship can forge bonds, sometimes even stronger than blood.
Right. And as they journey deeper into this frozen landscape, those shared hardships forge incredibly deep connections.
Joanna and Florian, despite everything they've been through, they start developing feelings. A flicker of hope, of tenderness.
In a world completely devoid of it. And Amelia, she starts to see Florian differently too.
Yes, gradually. Not just as a rescuer, but maybe as a symbol of goodness, a protector.
And it's during these raw, intimate moments that more secrets come out.
Amelia's 8-month pregnancy, which she tried so hard to hide.
And Florian's specific act of revenge, tied directly to that stolen piece from the Amber Room.
It just deepens the stakes for everyone involved.
But the danger, it just never lets up. It actually escalates, doesn't it?
It does. The group tries this incredibly perilous crossing of a frozen harbor, a huge expanse of treacherous ice.
Trying to reach the evacuation ships anchored way out? It sounds terrifying.
It is a desperate scramble. And then, tragically, Russian bombs hit the harbor while they're crossing.
Shattering the ice.
And claiming Ingrid's life, the blind girl. It's heartbreaking. Visceral.
And it feels like this brutal foreshadowing of even worse things to come. That ever-present shadow of death.
It really underscores the constant, indiscriminate danger they face. A reminder that even a moment of hope can instantly turn into disaster.
So after this loss, they encounter Alfred again, the delusional sailor.
Yes. And he becomes their uncertain, frankly, unsettling hope for getting passage on the ships.
This is where identity becomes literally life or death.
Exactly. Amelia, being Polish, has to pretend she's Latvian. Otherwise, the German regime would mean certain death for her. It's a chilling example of those ruthless identity-erasing realities.
Yet somehow, against all odds, they manage it. The remaining characters get aboard the Wilhelm Gustloff.
The largest ship in the harbor. A beacon, however fleeting, of hope.
It must have been this moment of huge collective relief for most of them. A deep breath before the plunge.
Though Eva, the older German woman, she gets separated, boards a different ship, the Hansa.
Just another hint at how arbitrary survival and separation were in wartime.
Once they're aboard the Wilhelm Gustloff, Sepetys paints this incredibly vivid picture. Life on this crowded vessel.
A German cruise liner, once luxurious, now just crammed, overflowing with thousands of refugees.
Utter chaos. But amidst it, life somehow continues in these extraordinary ways.
Emilia gives birth, on the ship, to her daughter, Helinka, a tiny miracle.
While Joanna, ever the nurse, works herself to exhaustion, caring for the sick and injured. Thousands of them.
Florian is still hiding, right? Knows the Nazis are looking for him, for that amber room artifact.
Absolutely. And Alfred, oblivious. Still lost in his self-important, totally detached delusions.
These individual stories, survival, sacrifice, they really make you stop and think. They invite reflection.
They absolutely do. And if you find yourself wanting more of those kinds of thought-provoking moments, you should check out our Mindful Moments YouTube channel. It offers deep dives into similar themes, aiming to inspire reflection and rational thought.
So the ship set sail, the Wilhelm Gustloff, moving through the freezing Baltic Sea, and then...
just hours later, the unthinkable happens. Sepetys describes this sudden, climactic, utterly devastating turn.
3 Russian torpedoes strike the ship.
Yes. And the book portrays the immediate, overwhelming chaos. Terror. The massive ship starts sinking fast into the icy water,
trapping thousands of terrified passengers inside. It's just a scene of unimaginable horror.
And stepping back, thinking about the bigger picture, this event, so little known in the West, it really underscores the immense, often unrecorded civilian cost of World War II.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other critical historical moments, especially those involving such huge human suffering, have just been forgotten, left in the footnotes?
Exactly. There's stories waiting to be rediscovered. And the sinking forces these agonizing, impossible choices about survival.
Amidst the terror, the ship breaking apart, the book shows these incredible acts of selflessness, too.
Profound acts. Characters giving up their only chance to save a child. It shows immense character growth, love defying death.
And there's another moving moment. An elderly character giving up their life vest for someone else.
Embodying the highest form of humanity in the middle of the worst chaos imaginable.
And then there's a final twist with the Amber Room piece.
Yes. As a lifeboat is being lowered, Florian has this chilling realization. Alfred is holding his pack, the one with the stolen artifact inside.
Adding this final devastating personal layer to the huge tragedy unfolding. The scale of loss, the individual acts of courage, despair. It's just haunting.
Thematically, Salt to the Sea is incredibly rich, a deep well of human experience.
It really delves into the harrowing realities of survival, sacrifice.
Showing how ordinary people, stripped of everything, somehow manage to hold on to their humanity, their compassion, in the absolute darkest circumstances. It's a testament to the human spirit.
Definitely. And it explores identity and belonging so profoundly. The complexity of hiding who you are.
When it's a matter of life and death. And the challenge, but also the vital importance of finding connection across nationalities, across ethnic lines, when everything else has collapsed.
Finding family where you least expect it.
Exactly. And it doesn't shy away from guilt and redemption either. Those internal struggles, coping with trauma, loss, the moral compromises war forces on people.
But maybe one of the most critical messages, the one that really endures, is about historical memory itself.
Yes. The book passionately argues for why it's so important to preserve these memories, to give voice to forgotten victims, especially civilian tragedies like the Gustloff.
Over 9,000 lives lost. Just staggering. Half of them children.
It's almost incomprehensible, and Sepetys' craft, her writing, is just masterful in conveying this.
The 4 narrators, the linear timeline. It gives this comprehensive, empathetic view.
And her style is so direct. Short, impactful sentences. Concise prose. It mirrors the urgency, the brutality, the stark emotional landscape of war.
It's not just a story you read, is it? It's an experience designed to make you feel the weight of history, the individual lives caught up in it.
She makes you care deeply about every single one of them.
And the book's impact, well, it's been huge. Critically, commercially.
Significant acclaim. Winning the Carnegie Medal, #1 New York Times bestseller. It's widely recognized now.
And rightly so. For bringing much-needed attention to this forgotten tragedy, It deserves its place in our collective memory.
Absolutely. And its educational value is recognized, too. There are comprehensive resources for schools now. It's used in academic settings.
Praised for its meticulous research, its sensitive handling of trauma, a powerful learning tool. So as you reflect on these powerful, deeply human stories, maybe consider this. How many other huge historical events, especially those involving immense civilian suffering, are still largely unacknowledged, still hidden in the shadows?
What forgotten histories are out there just waiting to be rediscovered, waiting for their voices to finally be heard?
For more insightful analysis and to keep inspiring reflection and rational thought, remember to check out Mindful Moments and our other deep dive episodes.
You can find links and more information easily.
Click the link on screen for the in-depth book critique. Subscribe, share, purchase via link, and think rationally.